This is the State Farm postgame show.
Well, how many times have we seen that pose right there and that one? The Patriots get it done again. They come back from behind to win it 24-20 and advance to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady will be the 6th pro athlete to reach 8 championship games or series since 1970. As we welcome you back inside Studio 43 and the State Farm postgame show. Full house here. JB along with Phil, Coach Nate, and Boomer. They play the game how long?
60 minutes. You know, when you go into Gillette Stadium, you have to go for 60 minutes. And the Bortles-led Jacksonville Jaguars played about a perfect half as you could in the first half, maybe with the exception of the touchdown right there at the end for the Patriots. But if you don't play 60 minutes, if you are not all in the fourth quarter and creating first downs offensively, this is what's going to happen. The Patriot offense is going to start playing downhill, and Tom Brady, without Julian Edelman, without Rob Gronkowski, all of a sudden gets Danny Amendola involved. James White shows up, Dion Lewis, and away we go, and they come away with the win. Not surprising.
And that's just it, as we're seeing Bill Belichick dap up his friends and his family. That's what it is. It's family. We compliment all these teams when a guy goes down, then other players step up. Think about it. Julian Edelman goes down early this season. Gronk goes down in this game. And like you said, Danny Amendola, the MVP of this game, steps up big in that second half. He was the MVP of this AFC Championship game.
And I've been where Jacksonville is right now. You lose a championship game in the second half. And I'll tell you, Tom Brady literally puts the team on his shoulder, and to the Jacksonville Jaguars, a fantastic season with what you did and a great effort today.
Well, what we saw once again, the coaches, the players of the Patriots, they're a hardened group of veterans, so they can play that 60 minutes you talk about, and they just keep coming, and it's hard to deal with.
As my guy Greg Gumbel says, we'll step aside for a quick timeout. The Lamar Hunt Trophy presentation still ahead.
The Patriots have done it. AFC champions. Now get the gear and join your team with the official trophy collection. Get the hats and shirts the players wore on field when they won the AFC trophy. They earned the right to be called AFC champions, and now you can bring home the glory. Get it now at NFLshop.com.
As we welcome you back to the State Farm postgame show, taking a look there at Gillette Stadium. Keep in mind the Patriots are now the first NFL team to go to its 10th Super Bowl appearance. As we welcome you back inside Studio 43. Just coach's notes from what you said.
The only thing I'll say, no one is better than Bill Belichick at halftime and making halftime adjustments, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. They held him to 41 yards rushing in the second half. In the fourth quarter, Jacksonville could not even convert a third down. So their defense in the second half held them to 2 field goals. Very instrumental in this win.
You know, Boomer underscored the fact that they communicate that coaching staff so exceedingly well. Right now, let's take you out to Foxborough and Jim Nantz for the presentation of the Lamar Hunt Trophy.
James Brown, thank you. Patriot Nation, your team is heading back to another Super Bowl. And the honorary captain for New England today, one of the all-time Patriot greats, to present the Lamar Hunt Trophy to Robert and Jonathan Kraft, Drew Bledsoe.
To the greatest owner in all of professional sports. I got to be here for the first 2. Now it is my honor to present you with your 9th Lamar Hunt Trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Drew. Hey, how great are these coaches and players? But I have never heard Gillette Stadium as loud as it was tonight. Thank you all.
Hey, Robert, today is the 24th anniversary of the day that you purchased the New England Patriots, and your team put up 24 points to win the game. I know, again, it was another one of those heart-stopping fourth quarters. What was it like for you to see this team take you back again to the Super Bowl?
This is what I dreamt about as a fan in the stands, just like all of you. And now we have to go to Minnesota and finish the job.
And you need to hand that trophy right over to that man right over there. Robert, Jonathan, the whole Kraft family, congratulations. Bill Belichick is going to give it back, pass it around. Come on over here, Coach. You're down 10 with 9 minutes to go. No Gronk, he's out the second half. Jacksonville played a great game against you guys, and you made adjustments. How did you do it?
We got a lot of great players, Jim. We got a lot of guys that really fight, that never give up, that know how to play good situational football. And I'm really proud of these players. They did a great job today.
Congratulations. You're heading to Minneapolis. Bill Belichick. Hey, Danny Amendola, 2 touchdowns in the last quarter. Big punt return set up the winning touchdown. And Danny, I mean, to have your hands on this trophy and have such a big part of this winning performance, what does this day mean to you?
It means a lot, man. We put a lot of hard work into each week of the season and coming out here and getting a win each week. And we love playing at home. We love being in Foxborough, and we love you.
You think that hand can hold this one more time? There you go. Step in here. How about Tom Brady today? Everyone's been clamoring since Wednesday to know as much as we can with any specificity about the injury. What can you tell us now? What happened and what was it like today?
Well, I said we'll see. So how'd it go?
I think pretty well.
It went pretty good. It went pretty good. Coach Belichick doesn't like us talking about injuries much, but just for you guys here, it was just a pretty good cut, and I dealt with the best I could, and lucky to have the best teammates in the world, because without them, we're not standing up here going to Minneapolis to play in the Super Bowl.
We mentioned on the broadcast that going to Minneapolis and Minnesota, that really touches your heart, too. You have a lot of family up there. Your mother's side of the family all is from Browerville and surrounding parts of Minnesota.
Yeah.
This means a lot to you anytime you go to the Super Bowl. But this year, you know, no Edelman. You lose Gronkowski in the AFC Championship game. You come in injured. You're down 10 in the fourth quarter. How did you pull off this comeback this time?
Well, Coach says, you know, it's all about our story and what this team can do. And we had to write our own story tonight. And it took every player that played in the game, every coach that coached, every bit of energy and effort and preparation it took. And fortunate, you know, we came out with a win, played a great team and a great opponent in Jacksonville. But just happy we won, baby. And we're going to Minnesota.
Tom Brady, congratulations, man. Heading to the Super Bowl for the 8th time, and we're going to send it back to the studio. Congratulations, New England. Your Patriots have done it again. Back to the studio in New York.
And this is rightly a Patriot celebration, but when we come back, we'll put this in perspective as well to give some credit to Jacksonville as well. More in the postgame show, the State Farm postgame show after this. Tonight on CBS begins with the most memorable moments from 50 years of 60 Minutes. That'll be followed by SWAT and NCIS Los Angeles. That's tonight only on CBS. So with that victory by New England, they now advance to Super Bowl 52. New England will be awaiting the winner of the Minnesota-Philadelphia game next week. They head out, of course, 2 weeks. It'll be the Super Bowl on NBC as we bring you back inside Studio 43. Again, a Patriot celebration. But, Coach, let's give some credit to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, for Jacksonville Jaguars, Tom Coughlin went down there a little less than a year ago, and, you know, he turned around the culture. He brought in Doug Marrone, and, you know, what you saw was putting his blueprints on that with great drafting, bringing in some good free agents. And, you know, what you saw was a football team that's got so much to build on, and, you know, they got a lot of youth right there. And, you know, this could be the start of something very special down there. And, you know, while it's disappointing, well, I'll tell you what, they have a nucleus to pick up where they left off next year, Nate.
And as much as I love the trash talk, as much as I love these guys being very flamboyant in the way they approach this game, Has to be a humbling experience to lose to a team that handles going into a game, talking about their opponent in the way that the Patriots do, and we joked about it. Even the Jaguars said, you know what, they're just fluffing our pillow. They're not really complimenting us. Guess what? They complimented you, and then they beat you when it counted. So shout out to the Patriots, but for a young Jacksonville Jaguars team, a little bit of humility moving into next season.
Yeah, you know, the depth of what New England does on both sides of the ball really came through in the game. Bill, you talked about halftime adjustments. That's overused in the vernacular of all the people like us. But for New England, it's real. In the second half, think what they did on the defensive side. They pressured Blake Bortles. They blitzed. They played tight man-to-man, and it made it really tough on Jacksonville's defense. Now, on the other side, they have so many plays on the offensive side. It's incredible. Josh McDaniels just kept calling different plays. And then Dante Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach, against that really, really good Jacksonville defensive front. Look at the job that New England offense did in the second half.
And you know what? It truly is, with New England, the next man up. And boy, today that was who?
Well, it was Danny Amendola for sure. But, you know, he's always involved. But, you know, it's just amazing how they morph their offense to what goes on. And watch what Amendola did here today. Right here, a little shallow cross. What's he going to do? Right up the field, touchdown, bam. How about this punt return? He fakes like there's a poison ball. And what that means, he's telling his players to get away from a ball that's going to hit the ground. Obviously, the ball doesn't hit the ground. He gets it, runs for 20 yards. Great field position. Great catch there. Back of the end zone, tippy-toe catch. It's amazing how they just morph themselves into a team of players that are positionless, that have to make plays when their number is called. And I'll tell you, Danny Amendola has done it now 2 weeks in a row for them.
And speaking of that morphing, it's almost like a role reversal, right? In the beginning of the game, we saw the Jacksonville Jaguars nickel and dime their way down the field. They looked very successful attacking that Patriots defense. But in the second half, it was the Pats that looked like that Jags defense. They were getting after the run, stuffing Fournette, and then smothering the wide receivers for Jacksonville. That play that Gilmore made, one of the best plays I've seen.
Yeah, you look at them in the second half right here. You can see right here, what a great play right here. Gilmore, again, the man-to-man, the pressure. And then they stuffed the running game. You talk about only 41 yards in the second half, and then they were able to get pressure. Big play by Eric Rowe. Again, they got off the field on third down. Jacksonville 0 of 6 on third down in the fourth quarter. There, James Harrison and Flowers, they combined for the sack, and this is the big fourth down stop right there at the end of the game. A classic play by Stephon Gilmore right there at the end. And honestly, this was a team, you know, talking about Amendola, the one thing we talk about, 3rd and 18, the big 21-yard catch that kept the drive going, the biggest plays in the game. But, you know, you feel like when you're playing the Patriots in the fourth quarter, you almost feel like you're starting to feel the pressure. And it starts to get to you because they aren't going to flinch. They're going to force you to have to make plays. And like you said, the adjustments are going to say, you know what? We see what you're doing. We're going to take us away, and we're going to make you beat you with what we perceive to be your weakness. And I think that, you know, that's the thing that they do so very well. They force you to play 60 minutes.
No question. You know what they do? They practice under pressure, and they bring it to the game. And they got so many little rules they follow. And that Amendola touchdown catch in the back of the end zone, why that was so neat, Tom Brady has probably thrown 100 touchdowns in the back of the end zone. And what happens, he looks to the front of the end zone to throw low. There's nobody there. No. When in trouble, look to they always have somebody running to back. It's just a little rule that they have and how many touchdowns they get out of it.
The one thing I will say about the Patriots now, as they get ready to go to Minnesota to take on whoever wins the next game between Philadelphia and the Vikings, remember, they're going to lose both of their coordinators. One is going to become the head coach of the Detroit Lions. The other one is going to become the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. The two left behind will be Brady and Belichick, the two most important people in that organization. The one thing I will say, though, is that Belichick is buttoned up, and I'm sure he's already thinking about next year.
Phil Simms talked about the amount of talent there in Jacksonville, prodigious indeed. But Nate's point about the brashness, you know what? You can take some notes from how the Patriots get it done. After the game, though, it was our Tracy Wolfson talking with head coach of Jacksonville, Doug Marrone.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Just a tremendous effort by your team. You guys had a 10-point lead in that second half. What happened down the stretch there?
Well, I know that, you know, the one we had the first down and we got the delay of game penalty. You can't do things like that against a great team like New England. You know, that kind of stopped them. We were never really able to get another drive going. You know, saying after that, and, you know, we weren't able to make the plays. We were playing hard, but at the end of the day, we weren't able to make those plays. You know, credit to New England. They were able to make the plays. And, you know, at the end of the day, they won the game. You know, we thought we had a, you know, shot near the end of the game and, you know, with the ball in our hands, but we weren't able to, again, you know, get something done or get something accomplished. So I think the game was a hard fought game. I mean, from both sides. I mean, both all three phases from both sides were playing extremely hard the whole game, and it was a heck of a game, and we came up on the short end of the stick, and we've got to, it hurts. I mean, that's all you can say. There's really nothing more. You're just hurting. I'm hurting. The coaches, I'm sure our fans, and I know those guys in the locker room are hurting.
Still, what did this team show to you, not only throughout this whole season, but in this final game?
Well, this team, all year long, they've been, gutting it out with, minor things or keep playing and things of that nature. And early on, I thought that, that's why, I said, hey, you guys have a chance to do something special because, they were playing for each other. And I think whenever you have a team and they're playing for each other and they're trying to, get through the bumps and bruises of the sport and to be able to go out there and give that effort, they weren't really doing it for themselves. They were doing it for the guys next to them. And I think, that's a great quality to have. And it's something that, hopefully when we start again, we'll be able to start building from the bottom up because you never start where you left off. And, that characteristic will remain with this team.
I appreciate the time. Thanks.
Thank you, Tracy.
The emotion of the game. There's Leonard Fournette after the game crying because you know what they've done, guys? They've raised the level of expectation. They've raised the standard in Jacksonville. And you know what? There's so much to build off from this. And, this is an emotion that will stay with you for a long time. Because I will say this. This, to me, is the toughest game to lose, is the championship game. Because, you get to the Super Bowl and you lose it, there's finality with the season. Right now, for them, they were so close to being there with that lead, and now for 2 weeks, you're going to hear about Minnesota, and they feel like they were that close away. I've been there. I feel it. But you know what? That will become the fuel that you will raise you and take you to another level next year. And I love right now the way Doug Marrone has handled that. He was real about it, and you know what? They'll feel him, and you know what? This team will be back next year.
They'll be better next year.
And over the next couple of weeks, we'll compliment the Patriots, of course, and we'll criticize the Jacksonville Jaguars. But when you look at the beginning of the game, you look at the Jags offense, there was a little bit of creativity, the RPOs, quick screens, and, of course, the play action. But I have to compliment Josh McDaniels. You're talking a couple of flea flickers we saw in this game. Yeah. We saw double passes, the creativity for 4 quarters, and we were joking about it when we were off camera. That's how you empty the bag. Yeah, right. You got 2 weeks. Who cares? This is the game that you need to pull everything out, and they pull out all the stops, and every play was needed.
You want to beat the Patriots in this game, you better do it in your building, because it's almost impossible to beat them in Gillette Stadium, I'm telling you. And this is what the Denver Broncos found out when they went to Super Bowl 50. I mean, the Patriots gave them all they could handle in that AFC Championship game. We were all there personally. We saw it up close and personal. That Denver defense was awesome. Why? Because they had the home crowd on their side. And, for every team in the AFC, as long as Belichick and Brady are together, if you want to beat them in the playoffs, you're going to have to do it in your building, not their building.
Well, Tom Brady, he let us know. We know that, right? And, as you watch the game, think back at once they got into the rhythm of what they do, just throwing the ball a little more, Tom Brady got much sharper. And on the other side, just for New England as a whole, they came out and they were playing the game against Jacksonville early. And then all of a sudden, I'm not saying they woke up, but they finally said, this is a fight. And when they turned it into a fight, New England's the best. They came back and won.
So the New England Patriots have punched a ticket. They will be heading to Minneapolis for Super Bowl 52. Again, as the guys have stated, they will be awaiting the winner of this next game, the NFC Championship game between Philadelphia hosting Minnesota for the ticket there. Will Minnesota be at home? Will Philadelphia take it there? That game, of course, Super Bowl 52, will be on Fox. Well, that wraps up an outstanding season that we've had here. The guys, I know you got a lot more football to talk. Yeah. Final thoughts as we go around.
Yeah, my final thoughts is that I'm not surprised that the Patriots are where they are. They're the ones that are the most disciplined. In the next game, I like Minnesota. I like to see the Patriots go into Minnesota and try to beat the Vikings in their home stadium.
I'll use my final thought saying thank you to you guys. It's been a tremendous rookie year. You guys have been gracious. I had a ball with you guys. Looking forward to the next couple of years.
And I'll just say, we had our championship game was the #1 offense against the #1 defense. And you know what? The #1 offense won.
Well, the #1 offense won. Look, it was a great year. Thanks to all of you guys. It was a great way to end it. The championship game was awesome. See you next year.
CBS Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.